Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Rance IX, the Hellmanian Revolution. Last time, we ate the Reach and saw the tragic demise of Freak Paraffin. And this time, let us see what is behind door number 1. Time for Revolution. Created a special autosave before this choice. Missy left Hunty's room with a despondent look on her face. How did it go? No good. It didn't even look like she heard me. I left food for her, but she's not eating it. Hunty. Course she's not eating. She's totally lost the will to live. I've never seen Hunty like this before. Me neither. Freak was Hunty's only friend for centuries. And she saw a few friends die in this war already. She must have been torn up about it on the inside. I bet losing Freak was her tipping point. I think I'll talk to Hunty again. Sorry, Missy, but can you let me give it a shot? Prince! Hey, where were you? Just want to get something. With Hunty in that state, I don't know how we'll face Freak whether the revolution succeeds or not. I know. I'll do something about it. I was just getting ready to. We're counting on you. Doubt anyone else can do it at this point. Good luck, Prince. I can't bear to see Hunty like this. No problem. Prince! Patton stroked Missy's head. Thanks, you two. Wait here. I'll be back. When Patton entered Hunty's room, it fell silent. At least turn the lights on, would you? ... Hunty sat with her head down and didn't move a muscle. Patton's tone was quiet and calm. My mom left me a letter, and this little sword came along with it. Patton held a small sheathed sword in his hand. One of my oldest memories is from when I got this. It's the one heirloom I have of my mom. In the letter, she said I should get strong enough to protect you. And she said this sword would help. ... Hunty slowly looked up. Protect me? What's that tiny sword going to protect me from? Check it out. Patton drew the sword from its cupboard. The sword had no blade. Instead, there was a simply constructed comb. Is that... ... It was a few days before Pyrina gave birth to Patton and lost her life. Okay. She was combing Hunty's hair. It had become something of a tradition for them. You have such pretty black hair, Hunty. Not like mine, which is all auburn and frizzy. Your hair doesn't say anything about you as a person. What are you worried about? But like, imagine yourself with my hat. Makes you laugh, doesn't it? Well, yes, I think that would look silly. Right? Combing my hair doesn't even do anything. At least I can use my mother's heirloom for something. Thank goodness you're around, Hunty. You never said that was your mother's before. Shouldn't you keep it somewhere safe? Stuff exists to be used, though. It has a purpose, so you can't just lock it away. Mother gave it to me, and I'm putting it to good use. That should make her happy. I see. Makes sense. You always keep your chin up. I have to lower my head to you. Revere me. A normal weapon could never cut the darkness in your heart. But this can. Cut the darkness in my heart? The only enemy that can possibly threaten you is one that hurts your spirits. I had no idea why the blade of this sword was a comb back when I was a kid. It was when I figured it out that I first understood your relationship with my mom. I know how much she cared about you, and I know she left her feelings with me. Pyrina. Well, this weapon scared the darkness off, eh? Patton held out his big hand. Let's move forward, Hunty. We need to repay everyone who fought with us. ... Yep, can't stop now, or they'll get mad. So would Pyrene and Shriek. Auntie gripped Patton's hand and rose to her feet. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. The sun rose over a new day in Hell. Well then, we are having a whole chapter screen, but with only one event. Minerva's ambition. When dawn arrived, Langbao Castle's soldiers began to panic. They're coming! They're coming! Ketchuk saw the revolutionaries surrounding the castle and raised a ruckus in the meeting room. Everyone's useless. They can barely take a punch. I swear they'd lose every fight with these lousy rebels. It doesn't matter how perfect my leadership is when my soldiers are trash. This is your fault. Yours! ... Ketchuk shouted down the troops standing against the wall. Of course, they were Ketchuk's personal guards. They had nothing to do with this incident. All my subordinates are worthless. Do you think this is okay? This tragedy? Ketchuk stamped his feet like a fussy child. ... Minerva coldly watched this shameful display. Why are you looking at me like that? You bitch! You're to blame for this, Minerva. Do you think this is a joke? Come up with one of those cheap cowardly plans of yours and deal with this mess already. Drive the rebels out of Langbao this instant. Well, it's over. Or maybe it's just beginning. Minerva muttered under her breath. What? Did you say something? The capital will fall. You and Stessel, your time's come. What? God, do you know how brain dead your orders have been? Just looking at your dopey face gave me the most awful stress. You swine! Do you know who you're talking to? Ketchuk slammed the table, but Minerva remained calm. Lower your voice, peace-stained Ketchuk. And don't worry, you won't have to wait for the rebels to kill you, since I'll do it first. You can thank me in hell. Minerva said casually. What did you say? Die. Heap! Minerva, what are you doing? Minerva lifted her axes and took a battle stance. The guards by the wall frantically drew their swords. Rebel! Kill this hulking woman. Chop her to bits. Roger. This isn't a game, kids. I'll kill you before you can ever respond. Kya! Eep, ahi! Help! Wah! Ah! It was like waving a bundle of paper around. Each time Minerva swung her axe, the brawny Hellmanian knights were knocked to the floor. Think that about does it. Less than a minute later, the only ones still standing were a blood-covered Minerva and a contrastingly pale Ketchuk. Wah! Eep! Now that just leaves... Oh! Impressive work, General Minerva! Waterfalls of sweat poured off of Ketchuk as he rubbed his hands together and frantically said some shrill words of praise. Your strength is undeniable. The greatest in the world, in fact. It's off the charts. Did you think otherwise? Certainly not. I've always deeply respected the strong, you see. Starting this instant, I can be your most loyal follower. ... Minerva wasn't moved by Ketchuk's flattery. Are you serious? ... Sweat was pouring off of Ketchuk. He looked at the sword a guard had dropped nearby. Unsure whether to fight or flee, Ketchuk ultimately put on a feeble smile and prayed. This is a joke, right? Minerva's axe sliced clean through Ketchuk's neck. Thank God, because doing his voice kind of has been rough this time. Could you have been any dumber? Alright, next. I've got a lot to do. The throne room had been used by the Hellmanian dynasty for generations. Minerva's shoes clacked on the stone floor. The cold, oppressive air brushed against her cheeks. Pamela was sitting at the throne with Tessa's personal guards nearby. Minerva, what do you want? Are you alone? I was looking for your asshole boyfriend. Where did he get off to? Pamela's brow furrowed faintly. What insolence. Pecan, ruffian. And you still think you can talk big. Pitiful. Battle axes in hand, Minerva nonchalantly proceeded toward the throne. Seize this impudence. Huh. Her giant axe crashed down on the guard. Blood splattered everywhere as he fell to the floor. What? Come on, bring it. Isn't that your job? Monster, have you got mad? The guards attacked Minerva. However, it wasn't so much a fight as it was a slaughter. They were far more talented than Ketchuk's troops, but the difference was negligible to Minerva. Every single one of the guards was wiped out. There we go, all cleaned up. Have you lost your mind, General Minerva? Never been sadder. Get off that throne and come over here. Don't want to get your filthy blood all over it. What? Pamela put her hand on the front end of the armrest and fiddled with something. The heck are you doing? Ka-chunk. What? A 3-meter wide square of the floor around the throne began to sink. Gah! Minerva leaped like a beast onto the throne. Ah! As they disappeared underground, new flooring slid in where the throne had been. The throne continued downward. Get off of me! Neat. Never knew the throne was an entrance to the basement. Is Stessel down here? Explains why I couldn't find him. Now I can take care of you together. Deep. The throne arrived in an underground room. It looked entirely different from the castle itself. Wow, never knew about this place. After restraining Pamela's arms behind her back, Minerva found Stessel in the back of the room and grinned. Stessel, hell! Yo, Chancellor, never would have guessed you were hiding here. What do you think you're doing? I've been waiting for this day for a long time. Your robot bodyguard's finally out of the way. What? That android just wouldn't take a break. My plans have fallen way behind schedule because of it. I knew it. You're after my life, aren't you? Oh, and I already took care of the other brainless pigs you call politicians. You're the only one left? What will come of killing me? The enemy is closing in. These people need leadership. You can't get rid of me. Don't you know anything? What's so funny? You, for thinking that was convincing. It's already over. What? Langbau's done. Hellman's gotta be rebuilt from ground up, no matter what at this point. What are you talking about? I don't fear the rebels. They'll all be killed right here, in Langbao. You still don't get it. For God's sake, how do you expect to fight them off from this building? How does this joke of a castle help in a real battle, huh? Nobody's ever attacked this place. It's gigantic, but what else is good about it? Some idiot said it was impregnable. Remember who that was? We still have massively greater numbers. The Second Army. Micrograd Bridge has been blocked off. Doesn't matter how big the Second Army is. It'll take forever to break through the rebels' defenses. They'll be down the front doors of this castle before that happens. But I'm sure you know that already. Stessel had previously considered the same thing. He couldn't argue with Minerva's logic, so he glared at her instead. We're finished. So, knowing that's the case, what is it you want to do? Kill us and hand our heads to the rebels? You want to beg for your life, is that it? Beg for my life? You really are stupid. If Patton takes the throne, my dream will get delayed again. In fact, it will probably never even come to pass. This is my only chance. What? I'll never get another chance to be Empress. Be Empress? Is this a coup? Minerva answered with a smirk. I just have to kill everyone with any real power in Hellman. That way, I become Empress by default. You think you deserve to rule? Know your place. All you can do is fight, you ape. You heard him. Take your filthy hands off me, brute. Minerva tightened her hold on Pamela's neck. Yeah. It snapped like a flower stem. Pamela's corpse collapsed. Nobody who looks down on me gets to live. I'm trying to be the top dog around here and all. If you get in the way, you die. Eep! Bitch, are you insane? Finally dropped the cool guy act, you wuss. Oh, I also just noticed that Stessel has snot running out of his nose. Poor, poor Stessel. Don't worry, it's way less painful than it looks. You'll see in a second. Hey! You know we're doomed. What's the point of taking over now? What's your endgame? I'll fight off the rebels. Like I'd die as easily as some gods. Fine, you can have the throne. I don't care anymore. That's good to hear. Starting now, I am the Empress of Hellman. So next? Never know when you'll change your mind. Gotta silence that mouth of yours. Eep! Stessel opened a nearby door and fled through it. Even your last moments are pathetic. Minerva followed Stessel right as he began to operate a mysterious device. Wah! Wah! Die! She slammed her axe down into Stessel's back. Gwah! The last war god is mine. Nobody else can have it. Your job is done. No, I don't want to die. I still haven't... I haven't conquered. Stessel perished, his face still twisted with anguish and despair. The device he was touching made an eerie sound. Huh? What did he do with this thing? Tch, I've got no clue. Minerva looked up at what was sitting in the back of the room. This was Stessel's all-powerful ace in the hole? Guess he needed the key to start up this monstrosity. What a lame secret. Minerva expressed no further interest. Instead, she simply returned to the throne. She simply used the throne to return to the throne room. What now? Something seems off. The castle was disturbingly quiet. What's this? Everything outside the throne room's entrance was enveloped in light. The corpses of the gods Minerva had killed by the entrance had disappeared. All that remained was their bones and equipment. What in the hell? So it just melts human bodies? A light that melts people, huh? And I am trapped inside it alone. Damn, Stessel. Where did you get that device? ... Minerva returned to the throne and sat down. Works for me? This feels great. Now nobody can take the throne from me. It'll be mine forever. Okay, so Minerva was on the ball for a lot of the game, but she is definitely losing it. Thus, a new ruler of Hellman was born. Yeah, good luck ruling over an entire throne room. Minerva's laughter was the only sound in the desolate throne room. Let us proceed to Operation Conquer Lang Pao. The Revolutionary Army was holding a strategy meeting. First, I'll describe the objective of this mission. Our goal is to capture Pamela and Stessel. We'll be searching the castle for them, but the Second Army is almost here. We don't have the forces necessary to beat the Second Army, so the best we can do is hold them back. Today is our only chance. We don't want a drawn-out fight. I don't plan to take my sweet time either. We'll finish this today. The problem is the Third Army soldiers who are defending the castle. The only way to the castle is a bridge, so I expect they'll be focused there. Yes, they don't have many troops left in the capital. No doubt they'll primarily defend the bridge. Is the Third Army strong? They're strong, but how do I put this? The First Army had the best leadership and training, and the Second Army had the most troops and finds strength in teamwork. The Fifth Army had the strongest troops on average. The Fourth Army had no redeeming qualities? I'm ashamed to admit it, but yes. What the Third Army has, essentially, is a lack of morals. They'll use whatever dirty tactic helps them win. Since General Minerva's in charge, and that's her thing. They are the opponents you have to be most cautious with, or at least so I've heard. The Third Army's troops are more afraid of Minerva than they are of us. Expect a wild and reckless attack. You could say this about any fight, but desperate enemies are the biggest pain. Sounds like this could be rough. They may be the strongest foes we've faced yet. Prince, I think we should attack the castle with you. ... Nah, I thought about that, but it ought to just be the outlaws. Oh, she meant we should attack the castle with you. I know there are probably still hundreds of troops in the castle, but we'll kick them to the curb. And there is one useful thing I just so happen to know. Oh, what's that? The instant Patton was about to speak, a revolutionary soldier ran into the room. I have a report. What happened? Well, something is odd about the castle. It's covered in light. What? They exited the house and looked up at Langbow Castle. Okay, it is indeed covered in light. Mostly. I didn't know what to think from that report, but... yeah, it's covered in light alright. No other way to describe it. It's probably some type of magic, but what exactly? Impossible. How could it be? Know what that light is? Is it bad? That's Rune's cellular disintegration light. Rune's what? A long time ago, MM Rune used it to protect his room. Activating the device creates a pillar of light that's about 50 minutes long on each side. And this is no thin barrier either. The whole thing is filled with light. The only safe place is in the middle, where the throne room would be. That light's some deadly stuff. As the name implies, it disintegrates any living thing it touches on a cellular level. What, so we can't get past it? Hold on. MM Rune? What's his crazy device doing in Hellman's castle? This place is called Langbow now, but centuries ago we called it Dead Naluka. What's that? Langbow has changed some over all these years, but the basic structure of it has remained intact. This used to be the center of the Holy Magic sect. Their headquarters. Really? Now I finally get why you and Freak stuck around Hellman. Yeah, that's why. So the device was in there somewhere, and someone actually used it. There's no way to turn it off, not unless you're a magic smith. If only Freak were still with us. In that case, I think I can do something. You, Sheila? I don't know where the device that creates the barrier is located, but I do know about a secret room in the back of the throne room, and there is a device there to turn it off. That's a surprise. How do you know about that, Sheila? Wait, you can tell us later. More importantly, Sheila, you think you can do this? Yes. The device is supposedly impossible to disable without me, but I simply need to show my right hand. Then we just need to bring you to the device. Now we know how to disable it. Question is, how do we get Sheila there? We can't touch the light, but it can only be turned off from inside. If there is no other way, then this is literally impossible. I can temporarily suppress its power. Really? Freak's research totally dissected how this device works. It spews a magic energy that gives form to light, but you can just plug it up with more magic energy. So we just restrain magic with magic. I don't know how that works, but you're saying you can do this? I also know where the secret room is located. I'll teleport there to hold it back. You just need to rush Sheila there while the light is gone. Suppress the light. That's possible? It's a crazy amount of work, but yep. Doubt I can hold it back for long though. Oh, I have an idea. What if you teleported Empress Sheila there, like how you moved me? Not an option. Teleporting anyone but myself is extremely dangerous. Huh? Whether you make it out of the other dimension alive or not is a total gamble. Not everyone lives in one piece. Well, getting Sheila stuck in another dimension is the last thing anyone wants. Can't have that. She's mine. Eek! Don't put her in danger, especially when I'm not around. This certainly isn't the time for that kind of risk. How annoying. So this light device thing's in a secret room in the throne room. Essentially, we are trying to get to the same place we were before this slide showed up, except we have less time for it. That right? The Third Army is going to be fighting for their lives. This won't be a walk in the park. How are we supposed to get Sheila to the throne room? Patton, you said you knew something useful. Have a plan, or what? Oh, right. I was interrupted before I could talk about it. I was gonna suggest using a secret passage. What? A secret passage? It leads straight to a room right by the throne room. The castle's surrounded by a deep moat, so you wouldn't think that'd be an underground passage, but it actually goes under the bridge. What? That's convenient. Even I never knew about that. Well, yeah, it's supposed to be secret. It connects to a whole series of old-ass passages that travel under the capital. Come to think of it, Leasis and Zeth both had something similar. Royal families just love their secret passages, I guess. Hey, don't talk about our secret passages. People think the same no matter where you go. May I ask one thing? Does anyone but you know about the secret passage? Yeah, it's not just me. Sheila knows, of course, and so does Pamela. Then there is a good chance this Stessel fellow would know as well. Oh. And if I were him, I would certainly consider a possible invasion through it. That's definitely true. When you put it that way, there is royalty on both sides, yeah. Maybe it won't work. Sorry, forget I said anything. Nope, if there is a secret passage, you have to use it. Attacking from the bridge is way too risky. True, maybe we are expecting an ambush. Maybe if we are expecting an ambush, it won't be so bad. Shall we have a group distract the enemies on the bridge while another group invades through the secret passage? That won't work. Something's missing. Then why not try one more trick? We convince them that the God damn it, I'm sorry. We convince them the team using the secret passage is the main team. All the while, our real main team attack from the bridge. Essentially, there will be 3 teams. An initial group to attack the bridge, another group to draw the attention toward the secret passage, and while the enemy is distracted by the secret passage, a third group will charge into the castle from the bridge. How do these two groups differ? I am not entirely sure, but okay, I'll trust you. What do you think, Rance IX? Well, Captain? ... Not bad. Sneaking around a secret passage isn't my style anyway. I'll attack from the bridge, like a man. The secret team is the real team. Alright, that's the plan. Get pumped. ... The group arrives at the Great Hall in front of the castle bridge. Hey, gather out. We decided who goes in what team. Tori and I thought about it with some advice from Piton and Rolex. Then Captain Rance made a few final changes. And here are the teams. First, the initial team attacking the bridge. This is gonna be a pretty taxing fight. It's the basis of the plan and all, so we can't get away with losing this one. The members are Kanami, Freya, Whitestash, Monkeyface, Alkanase, and Pigo. Is Monkeyface supposed to be me? Who else would it be? Sure, alright, I don't care. And lastly, Sanhiba. This will be the most brutal fight, so you're leading the team. Alright, I'll fight with all my might. Try to win though. I know. The first team has 7 members in all. The next team will also be 7. This is the secret passage invasion team. The distraction from the distraction. You're gonna fight in the secret passage, and it needs to be explosive enough to draw their attention to you. We also need someone who knows when to retreat. The members are Piton, Tilt, Maria, Shizuka, Crook, and Miracle. And Rolex will lead them. You decide when to get out of there. Alright, leave it to me. The man-slaying August swords will show you what they've got. That leaves the Bane team that's heading to the throne room. We can't invade with too large of a group, so this will be a team of 5 elite members. First, Sheila, since we need you to disable the light. Yes, I'll do my best, Master Rance. Do better than your best. Win. Yes, Master Rance. Next, Patton and Red Stash. Right. That leaves our 2 strongest members, Rick and Captain Rance. Understood. Obviously. Let's stay a helmet and you one. Alright, counting on you. The first breach team, the secret passage team, and the main team. These teams are gonna wrestle Longbow. Yeah! The final battle was set to begin. Okay. Weirdly, this is not labeled as a battle, so I guess this will be just Hunty's view of it. But we'll see it next time. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. Goodbye.